What's up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. Today we're going to be talking about Artemis Fowl on Disney Plus. We just checked it out. It was definitely.
It was a. Yeah.
Okay, so first
it was a movie.
let's talk about what it could have been. What were the books like? Because this is based off the books.
The books, right? Okay, going into this originally, I was very I told you when everything first started, I was pumped. If you'll remember, I was like, "Yo, Artemis Fowl is coming out." I was like, "I'm juiced. I can't wait to see that." I'm there day one because, as a kid in school, I was reading Artemis Fowl. I was reading the series of unfortunate events and all of that stuff. I was just this huge book nerd. I just loved it all, right? So, it was supposed to be beautiful. I mean, he is a criminal mastermind, just like the rest of his family. They're kind of like a Godfather type of mafia type of, you know what I mean? Like that's how the Artemis Fowl name really is, and Artemis Fowl, the junior, the second, he is a product of his freaking family, that's what it is. He's a genius and he's a criminal. That's just what it is. So it was very Die Hard kind of in the sense of, he the kidnapping of everything that, if you watch this movie, okay, if you read the books, this movie is going to piss you off to your core, right? But they did it in such a way to where it wasn't boring, though. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, the movie it was pretty on point with a lot of the stuff that happened, but at the same time, it wasn't. And I don't even know how they managed to accomplish something like that. So yeah, that's just basically the gist of it. It was a tragic disaster of a movie that.
So coming into this movie, I didn't say anything at first, but when I first got to our place to watch this movie, we were kind of talking. I was like, okay, I've seen a lot of negative stuff about this movie. I saw someone say this is the worst movie ever made. Yeah. This and that. I'm like, why though? Because we've seen that happen before. This movie's trash, and then the movie be really good.
I think that happened with Venom. Maybe I think it was
Venom's could be one of those. Another one that could be was the latest King Arthur we got with the dude from Sons of Anarchy. I love that movie.
Can't think of it.
But then the day that we watched it, I also saw some stuff about Disney and how they kind of handled the whole situation with Artemis Fowl, in that they did not think that audiences would connect well with a villain child. And so this kind of goes into us talking about how they might Disneyfy this movie, whatever that may mean.
And I'm starting to really think that Disneyfy means make terrible. I think that's because honestly, and the only thing that have been Disneyfied are their live action adaptions. Aladdin was okay. It was all right.
It was a fun watch.
It was there. You go. It was a fun watch. I wasn't there for it. I remember when we saw that, we were like, "This is
bruh, he's not even set." The faces were so plain. It was, but I get it. It was real life. Yeah.
No. And then you took away Scar's best little scene. Okay, so and then. Honestly, what this movie did is make me extremely nervous for Mulan, okay? Because, Artemis Fowl is the only movie that was in this slate that wasn't pushed back due to COVID-19.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that. And it was Disney knew that they had a flop on their hands. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, man. I mean, it's good that it came out, on Disney Plus, because if it would have been a movie, they would have bombed. Not only they wouldn't just bombed, it'd have been a major loss. We looked it up, and they spent $120 million on this movie.
Yeah,
doesn't look. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah,
visually, this movie actually looks pretty good. Now.
But it doesn't at the same time.
At the same time, we saw some stuff.
When Bro started opening his jaw at the end, worst CGI I've ever seen in a movie in my entire life. Worst CGI ever.
full warning, by the way, we might talk about some spoilers, so just be prepared for that.
We've already talked about spoilers,
so we might have already done it, but
yeah. You should. This is and going into this movie, the book is the movie is like based mostly heavily off of the first book, okay, and when looking into it, it's like they have the building blocks for success. The movie is directed by the guy that did Cinderella and Thor. His name is Kenneth Branagh. So, with stuff like that, you think this is going to be amazing. The trailer was released like over a year ago, though. And in that, like the teaser trailer, it was an incredibly different trailer than the movie did not go off of anything that the teaser trailer had established.
I think I really enjoyed the trailer.
The trailer was really amazing, bro. That's what they had. I don't know if you remember, but they had like a highly based. There was a fairy, and she was she was an Asian fairy, and like the whole thing was kind of based off of that. I don't think they had the same Holly shorts and all of that extra. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. Honestly, like if you go back and look at the teaser trailer again, you'll see like it is literally. I think maybe out of the entire movie, they might have had like 3 shots from the actual trailer in the movie, bro, and. Not only that, but
bro, you're right. What the hell, bro? Looking at the thumbnail, I'm like, immediately, that's not what we got.
So it was like they shot. They I don't know what they did. Honestly, I don't know what happened, and that really raises a lot of questions for me. Because it's like we literally had something that could have been great. I mean, great. But I mean, like it was just sad because Artemis Fowl, Ferdia Shaw, that's his name. This was his first role. That's just sad. It sucks for him. That sucks because this is not something that's going to establish you as being a child actor. You know what I mean? Like everything seemed pressured from him. Like everything seemed like he was like, it was just like he was pushing it out with everything he could, I feel like they could have did better.
One of the things that we were talking about is with the way this movie came out, they should have promoted it as such. In that, what I mean by that is this movie felt like I was growing up and it came out right after Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yes,
this was a Disney Channel original movie. This is what it felt. That's what it felt like.
Straight Spy Kid vibes. I think that's what we were going with.
And I think if it was advertised as that, this movie could have been legendary.
Tremendously
like better. This movie could have been this generation's Shark Boy and Lava Girl if it was promoted as such.
But it was promoted as this generation's Harry Potter.
Yes,
and it was not that by any means. At all.
And on top of that, they weren't targeting the right audience. Like they should have been targeting us.
Yeah,
we grew up reading the books. That's their money right there. Like, and then like one of the first red flags that we noticed before we even watched the movie was it was PG.
Yep,
and which is fine.
It should have at least had a PG-13 rating.
PG-13.
It should have at least been PG-13. Like. If you know the books, you know that it does not translate well. I think even the first Harry Potter was PG-13. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't,
I think they all were.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like, and he was a child in that. He was a kid, and that's what they had here. They wanted us to grow. I know it. They wanted us to grow up with Artemis the same way we grew up with Harry. That's what they were going for. Well, I mean, the ones under us. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't like. When we watched it, Jay was right there, and he was like, "Yo, this is awesome. This is cool," And it's like, okay,
we'd be like,
yeah, like
each other and be like, I don't know.
Is that what they wanted? Did they want all of the kids to love it? And it's like, okay, I could feel that, but you should, like you said, you should have marketed it as such. And I feel like they should not have done that. Like,
and like the best way I can compare it to, like. So the last time I felt like this, now I didn't read the book, so I'm not as invested as Mark. But the last time I felt like this was when Avatar: The Last Airbender, the real life action movie, came out. Like that movie
was that movie was bad. A capital F minus.
Like I don't. It's every time I go to the store, it's like on sale for like $3. Maybe even $1.
And I'm surprised it's even in the store. You know what I mean? Like that's how bad that is right there.
Now, with that said, I will say is I had to force myself to finish watching Avatar. I didn't have to do that for Artemis Fowl.
Well, that's because the movie was so boringly interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
because it was a great universe. The world was awesome.
Everything was built perfectly, but it was like the movie. Okay, the movie was in fast forward for me. That's how it felt. It felt like the movie was like this the entire time, and the movie just kept going. You know what I mean? And it was they didn't take a breath. There was no pauses. There was no periods. There was no commas. It was just a run-on movie. You know what I mean? Like it was just on and on and on. It was like, okay, here's this. Okay, here's this. Okay, here's this. Okay, here's this. And you know what? I think are we going spoiler free, or are we going to talk about this in its entirety?
I'm going to talk about everything in its entirety.
Because I feel like the movie set up 7 different storylines and nothing came to fruition. Like it was like, okay, we're looking for the acorn of justice. I don't know what it was called, right? It was shaped like an acorn and it's magical. They said it so many times in the movie. I can't believe that I don't remember what it's called.
It's basically the Allspark to fairies.
The Aculos. I think that's what it's called.
That's what it is.
The Aculos, right? Okay.
Something like that.
So they not only did they say the Aculos 49,000 times in the movie, right?
Yeah.
It was like they didn't even have to look for it. It was literally right in the house. There was 2 places in this movie.
Yeah.
Artemis Fowl's house and Fairyland. That was it. There was nowhere else. That was lame, okay? That was just lame. I can't even express how lame that was. Holly Shorts, it was her movie more than it was Artemis Fowl's movie. Like the movie should have been called Holly Shorts. You feel me? Like she's the fairy. Okay, she's the fairy girl that got kidnapped by the psychopathic child. Okay,
supposedly psychopathic child.
Like he's a freaking what is happening here? Like and in the actual book, he kidnaps her because he's a freaking criminal mastermind and he wants gold from the fairies. You know what I'm saying? Like his dad has been missing. Like all of that. Man, don't get me started. Okay, all I know is this movie was a grade A disaster.
Mm-hmm. Like, and this goes back to what we were talking about. Like this movie felt like. So I don't know if any of you guys have watched October Faction. The world itself was awesome. The show did a lot to build up things, but it was like they weren't even worried about the first season. They were just worried about second season.
Yes,
and that's what this movie felt like. They were like, okay, we're gonna pump this out so we can pump out the second one, and it'll be better. And like they had no regard. It's like, okay, storytelling that they were supposed to tell within the first one, and it didn't work out.
Like it mattered zero. Everything that they set up mattered zero. Like we were talking about with the dad. They tell us that he's a freaking thief from around the world, and in the end, he wasn't even the one that stole the acorn.
Yeah.
So why did it matter? Why did it matter? They expressed to us that Artemis Fowl is a freaking genius. When did he express his geniusness at all in this movie? What is it that he did that was genius? Like nothing. There was nothing in the movie you kidnapped a freaking fairy. Awesome. Like, and it's not like you came up with the plan yourself. You read your father's journals in order to even learn how to do that. There was literally nothing that capitalized on him being this freaking child mastermind genius. Like nothing. Literally nothing, dude. And it was just like, why are you setting so much stuff up for no reason? We don't even care. Like, you didn't even have to tell us that and it wasn't like, okay, he's a genius. It was like, he is the most smartest person in the world and you should fear him off of his intelligence.
Yes.
But he did nothing to even show that type of fear. All it was whenever someone said Artemis Fowl, they were like, oh, Artemis Fowl, oh my God. Like, bruh, This nigga is not Voldemort. Like that's like, oh my god.
But they did that to multiple characters. Like we did the same thing with the butler's daughter. Yes. The butler himself. But they were like at the very beginning, like the butler's a badass. Like he's awesome. The daughter's awesome. And then
and they literally did she's nothing, a background character.
Yeah, like there was no character development at all in this movie. Like
I forgot she was in the movie. I forgot.
Yeah,
it was like
she basically fed Artemis sandwiches the whole movie. Like that's literally what she did.
And then she talked to Holly once, and that was it. I'm like, okay, bye.
She's supposed to be this amazing fighter,
and she got her ass kicked in the fight, like against the giant troll. Like he put the paws on everybody.
It was a giant troll.
But come on. She didn't even do. They had
couldn't even fight that
fairy weapons and shit. Like they did nothing. You know. What was up with the fairy lady? The head fairy. She was played by. Hold on.
I didn't really like her acting.
Okay, that's something that we can definitely establish is that the acting was bad all around for everyone. For so many A-listers to be in this movie, you know, like Colin Farrell and then the chick that I'm talking about right now.
It just felt bad. Like, I don't
know. Judi Dench, Commander Root. Bro, what was up with her character? It was like they took the Captain Marvel thing, kinda. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like they took that character of the Supreme Leader or whatever, and they kind of tried to do the same thing with Judi Dench's character as Commander Root right here.
Yeah.
But it just did not. Nothing worked. Nothing worked in this movie, yo. And that was and then you had Josh Gad, who is Mulch Diggums, right? And you have him speaking like Batman the entire movie.
That's so true.
Oh my god. And it was like a solid 10 minutes of the beginning of the movie of him telling us everything that we needed. It was just so dragged out. It was just, who is Artemis Fowl? Artemis Fowl is the smartest, most genius. Like, bro, shut up. Shut up. Oh my god. And it's so sad because this is Disney. Disney has Marvel. So we all expect everything from Disney to be top notch because of what they have done with the MCU. And then it was the dude that made Thor. You know, Thor was awesome. You know, the first Thor was awesome. And then he made the Cinderella movie, the live action Cinderella adaptation as well. Did not see that. But, you know, because of those two things, it made me put this at high hopes. I was like, okay, we're going to have a good start. We're going to have the AFU, the Artemis Fowl universe, you know? Like, we're going to be going big over here.
And, you know, we were talking about it a little bit. I felt this movie could have done really well if it was under Legendary or Universal.
Yes,
I think especially I think Bad Robot's the one that did Kid Villain Superhero Superman.
Oh,
Brightburn. If that's the type of energy they should have used. Definitely. Since Artemis was supposed to be a supervillain. Suppose this, you know, if they were able to use that type of mentality. On Artemis Fowl, it could have been amazing. I think it could have been awesome. Obviously, it wouldn't be rated PG, like from the get go. Like it cannot be PG.
And it needed to be PG-13. They needed that to capitalize on some really good moments and to really solidify how much of a badass he is. You know, not just some genius. Wasn't there for it. Like it was and that's what, like how I said at the beginning, it was such a intriguingly boring movie. You know, like it was like
there were some great moments. I mean, there were obviously it had its pitfalls, but there was some great moments. For example, there was basically only one fight scene throughout the entire movie. That one fight scene, however, is actually pretty dope. I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest with you. Artemis Fowl and the Butler are basically fighting like a small army of elves.
The Leprechaun. Just so we can put that out there. They were called the Leprechaun. The
Leprechaun, yes.
Yeah. So bad. And they took concepts that were great in the book and worked, and they just they bent him over backwards and threw him away. You know, the movie made the LEP recon seem goofy, but in the book it seemed so good. But in the movie, it was just trash. It was just like another thing to laugh at about the movie. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They're fighting off the LA leprechaun like fairy things, and it was all a part of a plan into that use a bow to destroy a time warp that was paced over the Fowl Manor, and that was basically probably the coolest moment out of the entire movie. Yeah. Everything else was just like a blob of, I don't want to say nothingness, but stuff that shouldn't have happened. Like, the only reason that this movie could have worked is if there was like some sort of show maybe leading up to it.
Yes,
but even then,
could have been a show.
They'd have to lead up to a lot of things.
I think that's what we touched on too. It should have this in the stage of what they gave it to us in. Okay, like that's what, like in the state of how the movie was. If they made that a show, I think it would have been tremendously better because they would have been able to build on all of these different characters, including the niece and all of that stuff. Yep. Giving us these, an 8 episode season. Yeah. That would have been of the same, like if it was the same concept of everything, I would have went for that all the way. All the way I would have been there. For sure.
Way better. Way better.
We would have been more invested. That's what it is. We would have been
their version of Endgame. Like if they did a show.
Oh yeah.
Boom. Yeah. Like it would have been awesome. And but that it sucks they didn't go that route.
It sucks tremendously that they didn't go that route, bro. Yeah. And then you have and then for a beginning movie, it was very short. Also,
it was like an hour 34 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it was really short. One of the worst moments that we saw in the movie, that it's funny because as soon as it happened, we both looked at each other and hell laughed. Was there was a centaur, and we see him run to because he's like a tech dude, and like we just see him move, and it's like, first off, a centaur should be proud, like not have a damn skirt on, like.
They literally made everything cheesy.
It looked like there was people inside the horse suit with one dude being held by one. It looked so bad. Like I was like, okay, first off, there's Bright, Chronicles of Narnia, these different movies with centaurs in it. They look so better in those movies. Yeah, in this movie, you fuck it up.
Yo, Folly, yo. The freaking horse thing, the dude's name was Folly, okay?
His name is Folly, okay.
In the movie, his name was Folly. Now, why they chose to make Folly the way they did, I have no clue whatsoever, yo. Why is he galloping like that? They literally made every single thing cheesy.
It almost looked like he was floating. It was like he wasn't even touching the ground. He was just pushing himself through the air. Like that's literally what it looked like.
Oh my gosh!
And then, before we watched the movie, we were also looking at the Disney Plus thumbnail or whatever you can call it. And it was just the boy with the glass. But we're just like, that lighting just looks terrible. Like that looks like they have literally just a lamp just pointing at him, and like
it looked like a book cover.
Yeah, like it just didn't look good.
Yeah. Like I'm not there for that at all. I don't want it.
It gave me like very Ender Game book vibes. Like
I feel you. I feel you on that one.
But I am watching the teaser trailer, and right off the bat, we didn't see half the stuff that was in it.
No, we didn't see anything. We didn't see anything.
See, it looks like they're in. Yeah, this wasn't in. Right? They're like in Thailand or something, like somewhere in some part of the Asian world.
Yeah, bro. Just bask in the glory of what it could have been, because that's what that trailer is.
Okay, so the last part of it is kind of stuff that we saw, but that first half We didn't see it at all. Now, they dropped an official trailer. Okay, so far this looks exactly like what we saw. We see the dwarf being interviewed, which is Josh Gad's character.
Batman.
Yep. We see Artemis Fowl, his dad.
Yo, it was just a terrible, 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 terrible execution of the movie. They did not do justice. The author has to be pissed.
I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what?
Like, how dare you Avatar my shit?
I wouldn't doubt it if he was like, yo, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys are kind of messing up right now. I'm like, oh, sorry. Like, we don't need you anymore. Bye.
Imagine this being on Netflix. This would have been bomb as a Netflix.
They would have done a show. They would have done a show.
Have you watched Lock and Key?
I have not, but I know it's a huge comic, and it's a huge comic.
It's amazing. I didn't know it was a comic, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that show is amazing. Even when Netflix flops, it's still better. Mm-hmm. Every Netflix flop is better than this Artemis Fowl.
So the trailer that we got for Artemis Fowl 3 months ago is exactly what we had.
Well, yeah, but the initial teaser trailer was a completely different movie than what.
I'm kind of curious as to why. Okay, wait. So.
Like release #release. Yo, what?
What's the word behind the scenes? I want to know what was going on with Artemis Fowl.
And then also the actor of Artemis Fowl, Ferdias Shaw, he is the grandson of Robert Shaw, who is Quint from Jaws. So, still not a good look for the kid, man. This is his first big role of a movie, and I feel like, I'm not too sure if Harry Potter was Harry Potter's first. I don't know what that nigga's name. Daniel Radcliffe or something.
Yeah,
like that. I don't know if that was his first movie, but if it was, he did a tremendously better job. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they should have done a little bit more selective picking with the actors of the movie as well. Don't get me wrong, I love the Butler character, but even him, it was just weird, yo.
Like, they killed him off.
Yeah,
but they did nothing for us in order to get invested with his character. Like, they made his death so sad, but I wasn't sad. Like, I was like, why should we care about him? Like,
and then she revived him in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and that was cool, but still, like
who cares?
There was no build up. It just happened, and it's like it didn't work.
Yeah.
So apparently, this movie was pushed back multiple times.
And
according to Vulture, they were saying it's an unmistakable sign of a studio with cold feet.
Mm-hmm.
Before being
mistaken, this movie was supposed to come. This movie has been in the works damn near since the book series has been out. It's been a while since they've been trying to get this movie out, and they keep.
So this movie,
it's piggybacked off of hella directors.
It was first optioned in 2000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
International multiplex rollout in vein of Disney live adaptation Alice in Wonderland and Maleficent. Damn, so that's so this should have come out around the time Alice in Wonderland and Maleficent came out originally.
Mm-hmm. Bro, and then they literally just kept passing the movie on to different directors because I'm pretty sure people just wanted to do something different that Disney did not want to do.
I feel like because I'm reading it here and it says a lot of people would come on and then they leave, and I think it did come down. I think it came down to Disney wanted to control a lot of it.
Yeah,
I don't think the people that were involved appreciated how, like I was saying before, Disney did not want a child villain. Mm-hmm.
At
the end of the movie, Artemis calls himself a genius,
a criminal mastermind.
And I'm like, Why? Because you asked for a pot of gold? Like, what? Like, that you did nothing. That makes... You literally were the good guy. You were the good guy. Like, why? How dare you call yourself a villain? The Joker, Dark Knight, that's a villain. Like,
that's a criminal mastermind.
Yeah, that's a criminal. We didn't see that. We didn't see that at all.
Nothing like it at all. Nothing like it whatsoever. We didn't even get a dabble of genius in that. Like, why didn't they have him at least go and have to steal the Oculus? Huh? That's all I want to know. Why didn't he have to steal it from somewhere else? Why was it in his basement? That was just... He didn't have to talk to anyone to get any knowledge. He didn't. He had everything at his disposal right there. It was just too... Oh... I never watched the live action Kim Possible, but I assume that it is 10 times better than this.
I wouldn't be able to watch it. I couldn't do it.
I can't watch it either. And if I would have knew this is like that, I wouldn't have watched this I would not have watched this. But I had to watch it because I was so invested in what it could have been. As with a lot of other things.
Part in part by his brother who looked like a James Bond.
And then they really downplayed like the fairy thing, because like each fairy is supposed to have their own book that contains like their magical secrets and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And
see,
it's just
there's like a whole timeline here. Like April 2011, producers were still unsure of the format of the movie.
Damn. 2011 from 2000?
That's 2011.
11 years and they didn't know what the hell to do.
There's a bunch of stuff that happened in between that, but
still, like 11 years and you still don't know what direction you're trying to take something that you don't even need to take it anywhere. Mm-hmm. It has an entire script for you, word for fucking word. That like it has buildings, places, events, actions, everything. It tells you what the kid and people need to look like. You have a description. You have a step-by-step book of what you need to do to make something great. You wouldn't want to make this movie if it wasn't for the books in the first place. So why would you divert from that path? That's what I don't understand. Why would you divert from a path that has already been set for you years before? This is 20 years later, and they still couldn't get it right. 20 years later, and they still couldn't get it right. I'm appalled. I believe this movie was supposed to come out last summer as well, and then that's
when the Fox. It was saying the Fox acquisition deal with Disney postponed it another year, and that's why it didn't come out then, because it was supposed to come out then, but that didn't happen. But in September of 2015, like we were saying before, is when Kenneth Branagh. Branagh. That's when he came into play, but we all know he's the one who directed Thor. Mm-hmm. Once he kind of came in December of 2017 is when they actually revealed the cast.
# release the Branagh cut.
Project 15.
Like, bruh, there's no way. There's just no way that you have all these, like, oh, man. Beautiful source material. Director that we already know is pretty great. Okay? Good actors. You have some very good actors. Choosing bruh that was...
It was brought over from Fox. That's why it didn't come out.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't aware of that.
So, like, okay.
So this was a Fox thing.
March 2019. I think it would have been better in Fox, honestly. Like I was saying,
it would have, because they would have gave it statement
did have Fox in it, and then I had forgotten that Fox was bought out. But Disney acquires 21st Century Fox in a massive deal for $71.3 billion in cash and stocks, taking control of Century City Studios' enormous backlog of entertainment properties, Avatar, Star Wars among them, as well as the slate of unreleased movies already in the studio pipeline. The transition creates new complexities with Fox's impending release presenting competition for Disney films and heading for the multiplex. To prevent that now monolithic studio from cannibalizing its own returns at the box office, adjustments were in order. And Artemis Fowl was murdered, pretty much.
Artemis Fowl was treated so disrespectfully.
I just realized I read the wrong one. I apologize. So May of 2019, Disney announced it's putting Artemis Fowl release date by almost a year, which was supposed to come out that summer, I believe. From August, no, it was supposed to come August 2019 to May of 2020. The Art of Racing in the Rain, an $18 million romance dramedy featuring no big stars, and unlike Artemis Fowl, not based on a globally recognized IP that was brought over from Fox, takes the supernatural. So yeah, they switched it. They brought a movie with no fan base, and replaced it.
I don't know why. I don't know why what happened to Artemis Fowl. It's pretty sad. Worse than Justice League. Terrible. Terrible and sad, honestly.
Arriving online within days of Percy Jackson. Not too big. And, I'm surprised we didn't see it back, like, the director say anything, because just this month we saw the author of Percy Jackson slam the movies, He said a lot of things. Let me see if I can find. To me, it's my life's work. To me, it's my life's work going through the meat grinder. That's what he said. That's how he felt the Percy Jackson movies were compared to his books.
They are. Percy Jackson. I was on Percy Jackson just like Artemis Fowl. Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree with that. Hopefully they do justice. Aren't they getting a remake or something? Didn't we talk about
on Netflix? They're going to be coming out on Netflix.
Yeah, they're probably going to be freaking amazing. They're going to be like the that one show. What's it called? Like Greek gods or ancient gods or some shit like that. It's something like that, and it's about all the gods of stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's called, but I feel like they're going to do justice, and it's not going to be no PG bullshit, nothing like that. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I just, I'm still blown away. This movie had so much potential, and it was wasted.
It was wasted, bro. It was wasted. Like, Disney, just sell it. Just sell it to somebody else and let them do something better. Like, honestly, take this off of this. Just take it off of Disney Plus. This is giving y'all a bad reputation. Do not just throw your garbage on Disney Plus. You feel me? Mm-hmm. That's not what we want. That's not what Disney Plus should be for. We don't want your garbage on Disney Plus. Yeah. Like, take that L. Take that L, bruh. Take it. Here, this is yours. like that's ridiculous, man. And it's so sad. It's really sad because this movie had extreme potential. Even looking at the trailers, it's like, oh man, we got like some Wakanda shit going on here. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? But even that, it's just a scene in the movie. It was just a bunch of scenes shot and put together. I'm curious. No storyline, no nothing.
What the first version of the film was, because if we saw it in the trailer, in the trailer, we obviously see they're in either in Hong Kong, Thailand.
Maybe it would be release the Fox cut. It would be hashtag release the Fox cut.
Right? Maybe. I'm kind of curious.
Like, fuck, man, just give us what it was supposed to be. Let me talk to somebody. I think give it to us as Marvel Bros. Like,
I think Netflix would be the best bet.
Netflix or HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO Max. They'd be like, fuck it, make that shit rated R. Let's do it.
Exactly. Yeah. He'd be testing the whole time. Like, it would be crazy. He'd be freaking murdering fairies. People's head.
Like, yeah. I see some crazy stuff.
Yo, what?
Like, when they're in that one big fight scene, that would have been
going
guts
down.
And gore and heads coming off. swords and everything.
Let's just give them props for that fight scene because it was super Kingsman like. I haven't seen anyone have any type of vibes like that ever really like. Yeah. And it was like I was like that fight scene made me invested more in the movie, and then the next thing I knew it was over. And I was
they should have invested that amount of energy throughout the movie,
throughout the entire. Bro,
if they were able to do that, the movie would have been good.
It would have been a great movie, bro. It would have been a great. It would have. But that would have been a great movie.
It was basically a candle that they lit and left in the wind, in the rain. Like that's literally what it was.
In the rain, for real though.
With the occasional lightning bolt,
like
starting it again,
like
and then it died again. Like, that's what it was. And I just, I hope
we were all very disappointed.
I hope it's not like we were saying before. I hope it's not a recurring theme.
Yeah. No, I really, definitely.
Because they have a lot of movies coming down the pipeline, and I just hope.
Because Mulan was supposed to be released in this time since COVID's been out. The Black Widow movie was supposed to be released.
That's not supposed to be released until next year, is it?
Mulan?
Next summer, right? I think it's next summer.
Oh, like now it's next summer, or
I think now it's
next summer?
I think now it's next summer.
No, yeah, because it was supposed to be released already. Like we were supposed to have Mulan. We were supposed to have. There was another movie that we were all going to go see.
Actually, no. Right now it's July 24th, 2020. So before it was November, or no, it was March, huh?
Yeah.
So the movie July 24th. Most theaters by then will be open.
Yeah.
However, we're going to be going over this in a separate video. There's a whole lot of rules that you guys need to know before going to a theater, because you will be upset. So just especially, I don't know, depending on the type of movie you're going, you're gonna be upset. So, well, it's better to be safe than sorry, I guess, especially during these times. So
definitely. But I mean, man, I don't have anything else to say about Artemis Fowl. Honestly, it was it was a shit. That's what it was. It was just a big old steamy pile of poop.
Okay,
like, so that's it. Like nothing more to say.
What if it was supposed to be another movie was supposed to release?
Mm-hmm.
Or if they were to redo this first one, what would you want to see?
I would want to see.
I think better character development.
Okay, this is how I think the movie kind of should have started, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think the movie should have started with his dad.
Okay.
And kind of, like, with that start, it would have been, like, kind of a solidifying why the Artemis Fowl name is the way it is, you know?
Maybe like a quick timeline of him
growing up, baby. You know, meeting Artemis Fowl's mom. You know what I'm saying? Like them getting together, her getting ill. You know, give us that type of good timeline. Don't have
like a narration by.
That was stupid. That was dumb, bro. That was a waste of all. That movie ended up being a waste of time, and it didn't need to be. But you know what I mean. Give us Artemis Fowl Sr. Give us him growing up being this international criminal. Even if they would have shown him, like
even if that's the first movie,
all of this stuff, you know what I mean? Like that he supposedly did that they were talking about at the end, you know, towards the end, like, oh, he's this international art stealer from Egypt and China and this and that. Like even if they would have just shown him going and stealing the different artifacts and that being why he was wanted instead of just saying he's wanted for no reason. Mm-hmm. And then he's kidnapped at the same time that he's wanted. And there's just that was no connection to that. There was no correlation with anything. So it's like, make the stuff matter. You know, that's would have been my biggest thing. Make it matter. Show us the relationship between the butler, between Butler and Artemis Fowl Sr. Because you know he's been around since before Artemis Fowl was born. That's just how he made. That's the feel that you got. But they showed nothing to make you even feel that or care about it. You know, in Kingsman, when we start the movie, like I'm just gonna compare it to Kingsman because that's kind of that's the feel that I wanted from it. I wanted Kingsman. That's what I wanted. Like in the beginning of Kingsman, we see him like going through this training to become a Kingsman. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it establishes that he's a nobody at the beginning. You know, we don't need a narrator telling us this. It shows us that he's a nobody. You know, but and that's what we didn't get. We didn't get that. It was like they tell us that I respect no one but Einstein and Stephen Hawking. Like motherfucker, that tells you nothing, nigga. That tells us nothing. Just because that's who you respect doesn't mean that you are them. You know what I mean? It's not like he's going out and saw. It was just there was no, like you said, bro, no character development. There was no build up. There was no follow through. There was no peak of it. There was nothing, man. Like honestly, I don't know what they could have done to make the movie that they gave us better with what they gave us. You know what I mean?
It would have been a lot of reshoots.
Exactly.
It would have been a lot of reshoots if they wanted to improve it.
$40 million.
And I think, I don't know, because if the budget was 130, $20 million,
yeah,
they probably went way over that if it took this long to actually make.
Well, no, because I'm pretty sure
when you look at it as a whole,
they were just trying to get the script together. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't even anything to build off of.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Yeah,
we were looking at the prices. Thor was it actually cost like the same amount to make Thor, the first Thor, as it did this movie, and it was directed by the same person, and it was published by the same company. So it's like, what the hell happened? What happened, bro? What happened? How did they just drop the ball like that? Man?
They got scared, man. They got scared. They did not want to see a child villain, and that's what it comes down to.
But it's like, because like I don't know, man.
Disney didn't want a villain. They have all these heroes, but they did not want a villain, and I think that's what this comes down to. And it sucks because.
No, yeah, I can agree with that.
Disney, I think, has had some pretty good villains in some of their movies, and I don't think they were willing to have a movie based off a villain. I don't think that's what they. I don't think that's the message they wanted to bring across for their audience. Especially because it's PG. It's already titled like towards the wrong audience.
Yeah.
But PG-13, maybe R. That's a long stretch, but I mean, it would have gave it a lot more justice.
But I mean, like, bro, even. Okay, I just need to look at the little thing real quick. Artemis.
Let's see. Yeah, Milan's July 24th.
Okay, so it says Artemis Fowl is a 12-year-old genius and descendant of a long line of criminal masterminds. He soon finds himself in an epic battle against a race of powerful underground fairies who may be behind his father's disappearance. Mm-hmm. That's the trailer writing. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
See, first off, it's only one fairy that steals him.
No.
Like what?
Even that doesn't do it justice. It's like, bro, no, it's not. How is he? He comes from a long line of criminals that we don't even know about. Because they say it in like 7 seconds, and then it's over, and we don't care anymore. And then the father's in jail. Not even in jail, he's kidnapped. He's just wanted by everyone in the world out of fucking nowhere for no apparent reason.
Like, it didn't tell us why, like, they didn't find evidence. It was just like, oh,
he is a criminal mastermind, and we need to find him. Okay?
There's a lot of plot points they introduced that they didn't finish. Like, like at the very beginning, we see the house being overrun with paparazzi. And then during this whole situation that goes down, they're supposedly gone. And all of a sudden at the very end, they're back there again. It's like, okay, were they there this whole time or were they there only after the fact? Like,
It was like they didn't set it up. It was like they didn't let us know. I don't know.
There's just a lot of confusion with this movie, really.
Hella confusion. And
it sucks. There's an ArtemisFowl.com. Let me see.
Like,
I don't even know what it is. I don't even think. Oh, it's based off the books.
Yeah, of course. And it was supposed to be, yeah, that's just very sad to see. Sad to see happen. Oh, they have a tie-in book
to the movie.
Yeah, Artemis Fowl movie tie-in edition.
What?
Perfect for fans of the upcoming movie Artemis Fowl. This edition includes a foreword by director Kenneth Branagh and an 8-page insert of photos from the movie and a special message from Eon Colfer. That's the person that wrote it, Colfer.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious as to know if that would have been the show.
See, look, and then this is what it says. 12-year-old criminal mastermind Artemis Fowl has discovered a world below ground of armed and dangerous and extremely high-tech fairies. He kidnaps one of them, Holly Short, and holds her for ransom in an effort to restore his family's fortune. But he may have underestimated the fairies' powers. Is he about to trigger a cross-species war? See, that is a beautiful example of how much they shit on this movie. Because didn't that sound like it would be amazing? Is he about to start a cross-species war? Like, there was nothing like that in the movie, bro. It was nothing that made us even feel like that was going to happen.
Okay, so
Commander Root said it. She was like,
here's what I'm going to say.
We got to get, they can't see the fairies, but oh, come on, bro.
You know how, like, at the comic stores, like, every time a Marvel movie comes out, they'll come out with a prelude?
Yes.
So, either it's super cool, like you're saying, or it's just like a prelude. It's literally page for page, like, scene for scene of what happened in the movie, and, like, there's only one or two.
Yeah. No, that's probably what it is, but I'm just saying that description was
way better than what we got.
That description was amazing. I'm signing up for that. I'll start a fucking Kickstarter for that. What? GoFundMe account, my guy. Like, come on. That was just, oh man. Beautiful effects, beautiful execution of everything, like, except acting and holding an actual movie together.
Because there's a lot of like the goblins. When we see some goblins over in the fairyland, I don't remember the name of the city. Like,
I don't remember.
The textures looked awesome. They looked really good.
It looked
really good. Like, technological wise, there were some really good looking moments. But then obviously there were some terrible moments as well. Like I don't know why they settled for that. I really don't.
No, for real. Like when Mulch pulled his jaw at the end, and then like they give us that shot of him going into the ground. Like, that whole CGI part was trash. Like, it looked good all the way until his jaw was pulled out. You know what I mean? And then it was just like, what happened just now?
Yeah.
So you guys spent $120 million on the rest of the movie and $2 in this one part. Like, that's how it felt. It was like, okay, you guys spent $2 in these certain parts of the movie. But, he's like, oh, nah, they're not going to care. Like, bro, yes, we do.
Yeah.
Is this movie for fans, or is this movie for children? That's what they needed to let us know at the beginning.
Yeah. And
they did not let us know.
They picked children.
Yeah, they picked fucking children.
Yeah. And even, I don't know, maybe kids will even be disappointed from it. They might get bored, honestly.
I mean, Jay's 6, and he was over it. He wasn't just sitting there watching it. He was playing with the chair and running upstairs, so it was just like, it didn't. He liked Shark Boy and Lava Girl, though, so it didn't even hold the attention of a Shark Boy and Lava Girl movie, because even that had substance. Even Shark Boy and Lava Girl, even Spy Kids.
The development in that movie, even for it being as old as it is, great. It's
great. It's great. And then we see Linus Minus and George Lopez and all the good stuff, bro. And it was like literally the same type of thing, but a flop. Like, because even in that movie, like, it was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. No adventure type movie. It's not an adventure any kind. You don't feel like you grow with Artemis because he doesn't grow at all. He doesn't grow at all in the movie. There is no growth whatsoever. There is no character growth from anyone. Anyone. Unacceptable.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if they're going to put in the money for a part 2. I don't think they will.
If they do,
this is going to go back to how you and me were talking about. If you have a movie that goes from the box office to stream, how do you determine how much money that movie made?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we weren't able to figure it out. We literally were looking it up everywhere and just figured out streaming services make their money from the subscriptions. But in no way was there a place that actually recorded how much money each movie or show brought in.
Did you know there's going to be a Last of Us live action adaptation?
Yes, on HBO.
It's fucking dope. My bad, I just got a little tweet.
And the person that's going to be directing it, I believe, is one of the people that actually made Chernobyl. And I don't know if you watched Chernobyl.
Johannes Brink?
Awesome. I believe so.
Yeah. I will be directing at least the pilot. We're having weekly calls, Craig Mazin and I, and also Neil Druckmann, who created the game. Oh, that's dope.
That'd be awesome. I'm excited for it. That's
our first.
I low-key might, accidentally purchase a PS4.
Is that really?
Last of Us 2.
That's like our first actual movie adaptation of a video game, huh? I'm trying to
maybe our first real adaptation.
No, that's
obviously with Spider-Man.
No, that's a comic book adaptation. That doesn't count.
So I know there's
if they made a God of War game. I mean, a movie of God of War or a Halo movie or like Mortal Kombat. That was based off of a video game.
Well, we got
that was ass though.
Not Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, Sonic. I guess Sonic works.
We got Sonic.
Video game based off of.
What's the other one that a lot of people play? It's not D&D. It's a PC game.
Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. Yeah, Warcraft.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
that one's one.
I never watched that movie. That's why I forgot.
It's actually really good. I actually really enjoyed it. I really hope they make a second one. I don't know if they will, based off the reactions, some of the reactions that were there when it came out. But from what I know, I think World of Warcraft is bigger outside of the country than it is here in America. So,
okay.
I know elsewhere it did really well. Here it didn't do too well. So, they might make part 2, but for a different audience. So we never know.
Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, with that, I think we can wrap it up, man, because it's there's nothing really more to say about this movie. If you want to see it and you have to watch it if you want to.
Let's give it a watch.
But don't go out and buy Disney Plus to watch this movie.
Yeah.
It's not worth that. It's not worth it. Buy Disney Plus so you can have the plethora of everything else there is.
Buy it for The Mandalorian.
Literally.
Don't buy it for Artemis Fowl. That's
Artemis Fowl. That movie is hot cheeks, bro.
That's a lunch you could be paying for.
That's really.
That's maybe 2 beers at the tarmac. That's you can't. don't do that to yourself.
It's not worth it. Definitely not worth it. It's worth it if you like to laugh at stuff. Yeah. Make a drinking game out of it. Every time they say the Aculus, take a shot. Every time they say the Aculus, just you'll be plastered at the end.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that we had high hopes for this movie and it just flopped. So
yeah. And I think that's why it was so trash too, because we had high hopes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it was hey, this is about to be the next Harry Potter. This is about to be the next Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Oh no, this is the next Avatar: The Last Airbender live action adaptation. Oh well.
Yeah. So,
but yeah. But all right, guys. With that, we can wrap it up.
Yep.
Like Christian was saying, make sure you tune in for when we're breaking down all the stuff about what's going to be going on with the theaters and how you can be in them and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we're also going to be covering EA Play.
EA Play today at 4 live.
In a couple hours, we'll be covering that live. So make sure you jump on in and you catch us here.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but as I always say, make sure you check out our website,
yep.
Marvel Bros, where where we're actually, you can watch it live. You can watch everything we're doing live. Oh snap! It's giving subtitles on our website. I didn't even know it did that. That's pretty amazing. But I didn't even know it did that. But you can check out our website and you can see us live. You can purchase merchandise and you can keep up with all of the latest news that our boy Christian always gets. And
today was a day full of news.
Yeah.
Like we had Cyberpunk 2077 delayed again.
It is delayed again.
They delayed it again, but they were in their defense. They're like, "We're not going to release an unfinished game. We're going to release it when it's done," which I can respect. I can respect that. Justice League Snyder Cut. We got a first teaser trailer today.
Oh yeah, I haven't noticed that.
That was dope. A bunch of Miles Morales details came out today as well.
Speaking of Miles Morales, like Christian was telling me, apparently it's just a DLC.
Well, okay, so correction. So today,
DLC?
I don't know if that was actually ever confirmed. So today, one of the people at Insomniac revealed a bunch of details. One of the details saying was he called it a standalone game, but it's an add-on to the Star Wars, the original Spider-Man game. So it's an add-on, but it's a whole game in and of itself. It's about the size of Uncharted: The Lost Legacy or something like that.
Oh, okay. So it is like a DLC, but within the DLC, it's
pretty much its own thing.
Okay. So you'll be able to switch back and forth from Peter and Miles Morales, but from the video game though. Like you have to go to Spider-Man to play as Peter, and you have to go to Miles Morales to play as.
Yep. And he also made it clear that Spider-Man is not done with. They still have plenty of stuff they want to do with him. It's just right now, Miles Morales is their focus, so I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of Spider-Man, if any at all.
Miles Morales is Spider-Man, so you don't need two of them in there. Yeah. You're good,
So, yeah, a lot of exciting news today.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, make sure you check us out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Pros23.
Yep, show support.
Show us some love. On our website, you can donate or do anything like that. Buy our merchandise to help also support us and what we do here. And that's awesome. Thank you